How you doing? Today we're going to be covering another module by Gus L. I love the stuff that he writes. It's just written so beautifully, and they're just really cool. Now, this one's called the Bruja, the Beast, and the Barrow, and you can pick it up for literally next to nothing on dry through. It's very, very short, beautiful to read. But the reason I'm covering it is that it does something that these little drop-in modules don't do. It gives you fodder for your campaign. It gets you really, really kind of interesting stuff that you can take and your players can grab onto and will actually get you some recurring stuff done just in a few pages. So let's jump down. Okay, so I started reading it, and as I was reading it, the very first part, I went, I don't know whether I'm going to like this. And the reason was I had to look up a couple of words, and that's more a reflection of me than it is on Gus L. So I read that the dry cyclopean stone marks the Barrow's outline, and not even the ubiquitous lichen or lichen, depending on who you are, lichen, depending on who you are, grow for hundreds of yards. And I felt it was like extra words that didn't need to be there. But then I got to the end of this paragraph, and I got a description of the smell of the place stinking of old blood and sour wine. And that's what he does so well. It's little words like that that paint really, really cool pictures, that just make these modules come alive. And that you don't find it often in these modules. Often it's just, they're almost like mechanical, but his stuff is very, very different. So like when you're going here to find Marbleize. Marbleize is a sorcerer, and he's a reputable sorcerer. Marbleize's specialty, I suppose, is curing curses or causing curses. So it'll be really easy to get buy-in for this and get players to want to come here. If they're cursed, they will. If there's somebody they want cursed, they'll come. And when they come here, they find his abode. And this is the description of his abode. Ancient boulders form a low hut, shabbily roofed with untanned skins, mostly from frontier hogs, but a few of those appear to be men. That's such a cool description for so many reasons, because it paints a picture, you can see it there, but it also tells the players, don't mess with this guy. You know, that there are people that he views nothing more than roofing material. Like they are up there with hogs. And that's a really nice tone. So you go there and you meet Marbleize, and Marbleize is filthy thin and has eyes of polished stone, which I think is a really cool description. And he offers people curing curses or giving curses for 5,000 gold pieces of treasure or a favor. Now, I don't know many players who wouldn't ask what the favor is. And the favor is very simple. Bring him 2 hogs, take one down to the altar in the barrow below, and players will buy it, like I would. And when you go down there, the thing about Marbleize, which I like, is he's honest and he's going to pay. He's not going to double cross people. Players don't know that, and they probably won't trust it, but he's honest and he's not going to double cross them. And his story is he angered the Warlock King and fled. But then the Warlock King sent the rolling calf after him, and he trapped him below. The calf is struggling to escape, and basically there's wards keeping him there, and they need to be kind of like popped up with blood and sacrifices. And it's not the player's sacrifice; it's literally the hog. But yeah, the players will go down and discover this as they go down. So as they go down, here's a map. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I think it's a cool little map. It's, oh, that's the wrong thing. Let me undo that. Yeah, it's a cool little map. It's not super interesting in the sense of it's not loopy how I like them, but you don't need that for one night. It's just a barrow that they're going into, and it's more what this thing does than the actual interest of having to find their way around it. So, yeah. And you go down, and as you go down, you work your way down here. You come to a feast hall, and there's images of horsemen, chariots, hoplites, hunting bulls, elephants, feasting and warring, time-rotted bronze weapons, falcata, shields, spears lean against the wall. It's just really well written. And then there's a little chariot there in one corner. It's collapsed into a mound of kindling with just corroded bronze. Just really beautiful words, really easy to run with. As you go down, you go there. There's a little false tomb here. You go in there. There's a cursed spear. The spear's really cool, I think. The spear's engraved with the name Biter, which is a bit of a warning, and it's magical but cursed, so you can do magical damage with it. But if you do a fumble, it will damage you, and if you throw it, it's going to try and come back and kill you. Which I think is kind of a cool little curse as well. So now your players are potentially cursed again from here. Might be another favor, which is good. So, and as you go down, sort of like down into 6, there's a path. The path is held up by trees. It says a dirt wall tunnel buttressed with dried tree trunks, buttressed by 3 tree trunks, that wind past 3 stone golems, and the fourth is in rubble. And these stone golems are really cool as you see them. They're exaggerated stone faces, scowl with lines of facial tattooing, and glare from opal eyes, animated by the souls of sacrificed warriors. These are really nice little baddies or monsters because they have weaknesses. And I love monsters to have weaknesses because then clever players that try stuff get rewarded. So they have 2 weaknesses. I won't go into them, but your players get to discover them because just in case they read this. And then you go further on. And as you go further on, you find Rolling Calf. And there's a brooding hulk of a man with a bull skull for a head. This is Rolling Calf, an undead assassin of the Warlock King, raised from a corpse of one of his demon-cursed Auroch guards to kill wizards. That's all he wants to do was kills wizards, and he's here to do that. It gives the players lots of choices of what they want to do. Do they befriend him? Do they try and befriend him? It's a bad idea, by the way. Do they try and kill him? Do they just top it up and get out of dodge? It's entirely up to themselves, which is cool. But this is what I really liked about this module, is the concluding notes. It gives you stuff that it's not just set, forget, leave it, and move on. At the end of this adventure, the situation of Barrow is likely unchanged and the curse removed at the cost of some bacon. However, Marbleize is a useful ally and will need to deal with his enemies eventually. The Warlock King is now a part of your campaign, which I really love. If he escapes the Barrow, Marbleize will relocate to the nearest haven, Scarlet Town, hiding from the Warlock King, collecting a grimoire and consuming intoxicants in bulk. Rolling Calf will be really pleased, but again, he's going to double cross him. But it gives you this idea of factions and intrigue. You now have somebody which they will want to come back to because somebody who can cure curses is super valuable. But every time they go back, there's going to be a price to be paid. And that's the kind of fodder that makes campaigns fun and makes them kind of like organic. And that's not often done in a one night's game. So yeah, really, really great module. You can pick it up. There's a link below to drive through where you can pick it up. Well worth a read, really well written. And yeah, it's cool. So I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.